Eric, this is Rachel. We're an internet's YouTube channel, and it's called Talking with Famous People. Some people call us the king and queen of the internet.
Is it okay that I like a lot of touch? Like, I really like touching you.
Yeah, sure. That's what my skin's there for. That's why I bother having that organ,
Oh, yeah? Wow.
just for you to touch it.
Nice.
Otherwise, it would
Lucky
just be
me.
straight up like veins and blood and stuff
Oh,
just
so
on the
like in the
outside.
baby, when you were in the womb, you said, I want to have.
I'm gonna have skin. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna splurge for the skin.
Oh, glad you did. It's so nice.
So I read this article this morning when I was attending to the car repair errand. And this article talked about three different kinds of good life. One, a happy life. Two, a meaningful life. And three, a psychologically rich life. Rachel says she wants a fun life. I also want a fun life. Unfortunately, I have a little bit more psychological richness in me than I would ideally would dream of having. Because psychological richness is the same thing as like wisdom, right? Like you fucked up, you learned something from it. You have very interesting experiences, maybe experience strong feelings, have poignant moments, etc. All of that leads to a psychologically rich life. You know, having various people in your life that are varying degrees of difficult may lead to a psychologically rich life, but it's less likely to correlate to a happy life. Meaningful life is understood simply to mean helping other people, being, I don't know, working with the disabled, something like that. Taking care of poor children. I'm taking care of more poor children. That's how come my life is so meaningful. But apparently, according to this article I read in the Washington Post, anyway, people want, when asked about the subject, people express some desire for all three, but that fun wins. Fun is the thing that people most typically want. But I don't think any human being can actually live a normal life in any way without experiencing some some bits of all three.
I like to be altruistic in some way.
Yeah, I mean, altruism's fine.
Like, I like the idea of, like, I know they always say, like, you don't know where the money's going to, but, like, I don't know. Like, if there was, like, a YouTuber who I liked who was doing, like, a GoFundMe, or not a GoFundMe, but, like, a buy me a coffee sort of thing, I don't mind, like, tossing $1 in there. Like, it's nice. Buy me a coffee.
It's kind of idealistic,
Mm-hmm.
to support people whose media you watch, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I like to do that when I can. Especially because most of the money is going to them when you do it like that, too. Patreon, depends, but
Yeah.
yeah. How's it healing? Oh.
It's fine.
Mm.
It's just not a big deal. I'd say it's a small deal. It's not going to interfere with my putting a little time into the project this afternoon slash evening. Hi, Winston's mom. Yeah, Rich actually watched that live stream. I think after I got home,
Mm-hmm.
but I heard her listening to it upstairs. And the car's fixed. Let's go take a look at the back of the car where it got work done. I haven't actually even looked at it yet, but I know it's fixed. The guy said, "Do you want to come outside and let me show you it works?" I said, "No, that's fine. I trust you." Here it is, nice and clean and brand new. Just like the other one, except this one's not brand new. So, obviously, that's a big accomplishment. The goal to get that fixed before getting pulled over for having a broken tail light, which is exactly what I accomplished. What's interesting about horizontal live streaming is the chat doesn't stay up on the phone, you know?
Yeah, that's annoying.
It disappears. Whereas vertically, it stays at the bottom of the screen.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they have a setting for persistent chat or not. I'm gonna need to put these. Oh, well, I need to pull some bong rips before I do anything else. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I have this lighter. Oh, I forgot the little spoon. Let's go get the little spoon. Then we'll come back out and smoke some bowls. Then we'll put our shoes on. Then we'll do a little bit of ponding. Really, it's stair putting at this point, is what we're doing. But I'm pretty pleased with my stair progress. However, we're going to see exactly how well it all works out in a little bit here. I've got a spoon. Essential spoon. Yeah, I am on horizontal. I prefer it from a perspective of filming. Like, it's easy to get me and Rachel in the same shot when it's horizontal. It's hard when it's vertical. But I unprefer it in terms of chat visibility because the chat disappears on the horizontal, whereas it doesn't on the vertical. Howdy, Jonathan Day. You meant the bong rips are essential. Well, the bong rips are essential.
Yes.
But guess what's essential to the bong rips? This little spoon. I'm a stinky Nelson today. My pits stink like the inside of a gymnasium. I don't go to the gym, but if I were to go to the gym, why is the spoon essential to the bong rips? Well, I'll show you in a second. If I were to go to the gym, I'd refer to it as the gymnasium.
I like that you're bringing that back. I gotta work out at the gymnasium.
And then somebody else could say to me, well, la-ti-da.
Yes!
So I've broken up this just very fine. Just smell that. Give it a quick, put your nose up to the screen and smell that real quick. Past the quad, down to the gymnasium. You know, they also what I like are cafeteria, things that are half cafeteria and half auditorium. I don't know if any of you out there went to a school that had a cafetorium.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been to one before.
Because why just have an auditorium when it could also be a cafeteria? Well, same way the other way. Why just have a cafeteria when you can turn it into a combination cafeteria auditorium?
I had a gymnasium cafeteria.
You mean a cafanasium?
Yeah,
Wow,
like
that's pretty exciting.
they would pull out the tables from the wall.
Right. That's what I normally think of as uh, a cafetorium rather than what? Yeah, cafetorium. See, auditorium and gymnasium. A cafanasium is different than a cafetorium.
Okay, so it,
I think a cafetorium is the tables pulled down from the walls. I don't think there exists a cafanasium, does there? I guess there could. Do they play sports in there?
I had gym in it.
Well, I guess there does exist such a thing. Because our public schools like to spend money on stupid and inefficient things. A cafetorium for those who need to torium their cafe. Okay, now it's time to smoke some bong ribs. This is where the little spoon comes in. You scoop your little scoop right there, a little scooperoo. No, I did not get any circular saw. I did get the car fixed successfully. Got the rear tail light replaced. More expensive than you might expect because it's a Mini Cooper and parts are expensive, but it's still under $500. By the time that was all done, I just wanted to get home. I didn't really feel like stopping anywhere, even though I passed right by the Ace Hardware in Oakhurst. So yeah, I haven't gotten any circular saw yet, but I am ready to make some progress on the steps this evening. I didn't get any work done outside today because I normally would get up and get work done in the morning, but this morning I left at 7:30 to go to Course Gold. So I told them I'd bring the car in between 8 and 9, which I'm glad I did because it meant I got to be the first car up. I probably went a little faster than I otherwise would have. It was less than 2 hours, more than one. Since I went to go eat breakfast, that wasn't that hard to kill that much time. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, the repairs. Yes, the bong does have a name. Its name is Firecrotch. Acacia named it. You can see why, perhaps. Her crotch is right down in there where the fire goes. Another person whose name apparently was Firecrotch was Lindsay Lohan. Presumably because she had red hair in her crotch. Seems more likely than because her crotch was actually on fire. At some point, she would have had to put that out. But, like, That's one of the bad things about being a famous person, I guess. Poor Lindsay Lohan, known for the rest of her life as Fire Crotch.
You think?
Well, I mean, nobody calls her that or refers to her as that, but this bong's named Fire Crotch, so we have an associative trigger,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like it's gone from our memory.
No.
But,
I like your crotch.
thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
That's because I keep it well and thoroughly doused from flame.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Only I can prevent forest fires. So the thing is, it took quite a while for them to even get the part for the car, but they eventually did. And I was able to take it down there today. She apologized for taking so long. I said, it's fine. I don't care. It's just I was hoping to get it fixed before I got pulled over for a broken taillight. I did, so mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
All right, it's gonna be time to put on some shoes now for me. I like this cloud that we're having here,
Mm-hmm.
cooling things down a bit. It has finally gotten kind of hot around here. Today is not too bad. We got like 92 or something, 93 today. But tomorrow is scheduled, according to the weatherman, to be 105, possibly a record high for me.
Wow.
105 is a big jump in temperature from 91 to 92 in over the course of one day.
It is.
So we'll see. But then it's supposed to be hot all weekend. It's supposed to be triple digits through Monday.
August is here.
Yeah. Although tomorrow is the hottest of the days, according to the Microsoft weather people, who are responsible for putting the weather at the bottom of my computer. All right, so I got these gloves at the supermarket. They were only $2.99. I was like, oh, these are pretty cheap gloves for. Seem kind of like good gloves for my purpose with this stuff on the bottom, but they're actually a little bit small for me. Summer is finally there in San Diego. I heard Los Angeles is going to be broiling too. So I guess the state's all heating up at once. It's comfortable right now, but I don't think it's going to be comfortable tomorrow. Wait, am I done pulling bong rips though? No, I'm not. Fortunately, I can pull bong rips with gloves on.
I can't pull bong rips with the torch. I need a lighter.
Oh, I have a lighter bit. Here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go take a gander at the goose, shall we? I imagine that probably at some point here, Rachel will go get her phone, and then maybe she'll join you in the chat from her phone. But for the moment, why don't you come with me and let's look at this. So I dug this part out. I got that board to fit there, but I need it to be the same height as the concrete part.
Before you go down the steps, can I cut your buns?
Of course, darling. And
Ooh, so nice.
and I bet if you try, you can guess what I think we should have today. I guess you can't. It rhymes with Brexual Brent, of course.
Ooh.
All right, everybody, let's take a look at this step and let's see what we're going to do here. The first and number one thing we're going to do is we're going to put rocks down right there. So basically, I pulled all these rocks out of here. Now I'm going to put them all back. Why, you ask? Because I realized, well, I don't want to, why use up all that mortar when I can cover these rocks instead? So we're just going to put some rocks here. We're going to put a few more over on this side where it's a little lower. Trying to get it level, right? Level as possible. Let me move you to where you can see better. All right. So we're just going to start tossing some of these little rocks here. Nothing too big, but this will just be the base on which we pour our cement mortar. This will probably add some added structural stability to it as well, one imagines. We've got plenty of rocks. Rocks we have. I could open a rock store that sold rocks, as opposed to a rock store that bought rocks, because I have plenty of rocks. All right. Try to make this go a little faster by getting more rocks and putting them faster. Currently, the rocks are mixed in with this dirt, so I'm having to pick them out of here. But there's plenty of rocks all around, obviously. Okay. So you can see it's starting to fill up with rocks. Little bit by little bit. Slow and steady wins the race. Unless it's going up against fast and steady. All right. Now I'm going to give you a different perspective see how this looks. Okay, let me look at it from this side and I'll be able to see better. Okay. I think it may be. That's fine. I'll move them around down there and kind of spread them evenly apart. There's some parts that are deeper than others. Obviously, put the bigger rocks in the deeper parts. I tried to make it flat, but I'm not very good at stuff like that, so maybe not have this right where I'm stepping, so I can continually be an inch away from sideshow bobbing myself. I hope you all remember what sideshow Bob used to do to himself. He'd step on every rake. There'd be so many rakes in his way. He'd step on them all. And the pole part of the rake would come up and smack him right in the face.
You're doing it.
Thanks. So we get all these rocks here. And then once we get a nice layer of rocks down, then we'll pour the mortar. We'll mix and pour the mortar. I'm going to just put these rocks in this bucket first, then I'll pour the bucket. Better to squat down than it is to bend over.
You want to make a Yaz record.
I sure do. More than anything. I want to do something real. Alright, so this stuff's going to be nice and solid, built on this with poured mortar on top of this foundation of rocks. It should be a very solid and long-lasting step. These big ones are too big for that part, but I'll use them somewhere, I'm sure. That's why they call me King of the Rocks.
King of the Rock.
Because I'm the King of the Rocks.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching Solo Camping for Two, an anime today. And the main character from the first episode, he has had this small scar on his upper right cheek, which I just I didn't think about a whole bunch, but I just thought, well, I guess it's to make it clear that, distinguish him from other characters and stuff like that. And then today, in a very special episode of Solo Camping for Two, we learned about the origin of that scar and how it links to him being so into camping. And it involved the death of his father and stuff. It was very tear jerky. I jerked a lot of tears. I rubbed some tears out. Oh my god, that's so beautiful and sad. Boo! Just like that. Alright, let's see if we've got enough rocks here. Well, that's a start. I think we need a little bit more rocks. Now I'm going to bring this whole thing up to one level here. The board's going to be actually on top of about this height, so I can bring this up. I want it to be level, obviously. As level as I can get it, anyway. Alright, let's get some more rocks so that we don't have to pour quite as much mortar. Plus, I think it would just be a more stable foundation and stuff. You know what, let me go get this other thing of rocks I have over there. Be right back. Okay, so get away, bud. Nobody invited you. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's make some mortar. Let's make him pour some mortar. Let's get a couple of rocks. Okay, that's good enough. All right, now let's mix some mortar. What's it gonna look like to mix some mortar? Well, I'll tell you. Let me turn this around. There we go. Oh, please, Eric. Please show us how to make mortar. I've shown you guys so many times now, but that's fine. I'll show you again. I understand it's important to you. All right. So the mixing in mortar is really as simple as combining a few different ingredients together to make a whole new kind of pie. Okay. I'm going to start with yon bucket. This bucket is where we're going to pour our ingredients. Next we've got this jar. It's for measuring. So we're going to start with 2 jars of water. 1 jar of water. Two jars of water. Okay, next we're going to do 2 jars of cement and 1 jar of lime. A little less than 1 jar of cement. Put a little bit. We'll whisper more cement in. Good enough. Okay, now we've got a jar full of lime. That's this stuff over here. Okay, now we've got water, lime, and cement mixed in there. I mean, put it in there together. Let's mix it together with a mixer. You want to make sure you get all the clumps squished down. Okay, that's pretty good. You want to get those mixed together first because the cement can sometimes be hard to get the clumps out of once you get the sand in there. So now we're going to go for the sand. Now in this instance, we're probably going to have a hybrid mixture of sand. I'm going to do as much of this leftover sand here as I can, and then I'll do the rest in the new sand. I need 8 total jars of sand. One jar of sand. Two jars of sand. Three jars of sand. Four jars of sand. Five jars of sand. Six-ish jars of sand. Seven jars of sand. Oh, it occurs to me now. 8 jars of sand. I noted that the other sand, it takes a lot more water than this sand. I thought maybe it's because it's finer and has a greater surface area. And I think it's just because this sand comes wetter. Probably get less total sand in this bag. Alright, so now I'm going to add, well, at least one more jar of water plus. So I'll put the one more jar in now. Alright, now we're going to blend. We're going to gently blend it. Alright, now we're going to get another jar of water. We're not going to put the whole thing in. Just going to give it a splash and see. seems good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now, we're just going to pour this, and you see it's not going to go very far. So, next time I'll make twice as much, just for this one spot. Let me see if I can start just up here in the corner. Let me get my scooper. I want to put down more rocks. It's going to use a lot of mortar. Alright, well, let's try this spot and we'll see what happens. OMG, though, that's going to take a lot of mortar. Okay, yeah, I need more fill because it's going to eat up all of my material so fast. I have this much mortar to pour. Granted, the other steps will approach it differently than I did this one. And I just got to make my first mistake before I know how to do anything. And I'm lucky if one mistake will do it the job, you know. Might have to fuck it up multiple ways first. Alright. So I'm going to put some big rocks down here. Hopefully save me some mortar. Okay. I mix more mortar, but I also need to put more big rocks there. So let me get these big rocks here. Okay, so I put more rocks there. I almost twisted my ankle. So now it's time to make more mortar. And this time I'm going to make a batch twice as big. So that means starting with 4 jars of water. Here's one. Turn on the hose. Two. 3. 4 to start off. And then it was 821. It's going to be 1642. Right? Yes. Not this first. First the cement. Okay. There's going to be 4 jars of cement. Four jars of cement. Two jars of lime. Stir. Make sure you smush down all the chunks of concrete, cement. Next, we got 16 jars of sand. You might be saying, holy smokes, Eric, that's a lot of sand. You're not wrong. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now we need to add a couple jars of water. Well, let's give it a stir. Excellent. Now let's go pour it. Let me get my spreader. Excellent. All right, well, let's go make more. Get this step all done, and we'll put the board down and we'll work on the front of it. We're working fast today. That's good. All right, so we need 4 jars of cement. Okay, there's 1 jar of cement. Oh, I didn't put the water in first. That's okay. 2 jars of cement. 3 jars of cement. 4 jars of cement. Now 2 jars of lime. All right, do 3 jars of water to start. One. 2. 3, a little less than 3. 4. 4. Okay. Now let's do the sand. Got a lot of sand to put. Let's try to be a little more comfortable while putting it. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. Alright. Now we're going to add some more water. We already put 4 jars in? A little bit less. We're a little bit less than 5. There's a little bit less than 6. This needs a little bit more water. But not much. Maybe like this much. Get away, little bugs. Alright, let's go pour this. I probably have to do one more bath before I'm done with this step, I'm guessing. All right, one more pour should do it. And then we're going to put the board down. Alright, so let's put in some water first. Whew. We're working fast, but we're going to get this step done at least. One, two, three, four, one more, five, now we need 4 jars of concrete. Get away, bugs. Nobody invited you. Nobody wants you here. Just get away. One. Two. Three. Four. Okay. I'm going to mix just the cement first, this time without the lime. Okay. Now we'll add the lime. 2 jars worth. Mix this. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, can. Fucking little bug, get off of me. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We'll probably need to add 4 more jar of water, but we'll see. We need to add a little water, but not anywhere close to a whole jar's worth. We'll just scoop up a bit, pour it in there. Just a whisper. I want this on the looser side so it's easy to pour. Alright, let's go pour the rest of this and then we should be able to start finishing this spot. Let me get this prepped. Needs water in it. Okay. Now, bucket. I'm definitely gonna need another pour of this, I think, but well, I definitely am, but maybe until after the board. Hmm. All right. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. So I need to pour up here at the front. I could even just like this. Yeah, that's not bad. That'll work fine, I think. Let me just bring this up here. All the way. Okay. Definitely gonna need another pour, but I'm gonna go all around here. That other pour to fill up all around this board. All right, so one more pour, and we'll fill up around this board, and we'll have our first step done. And it does seem pretty level. I mean, of course, I didn't level it per se. Maybe I will on future ones. We shall see. In the meantime, let's make a half batch. I'm tired. I've had, ready for a break, but this is kind of time sensitive, so let's get this done while we are on it. So a regular batch, which is a half batch, which is 8, 2, 1, and 3 jars of water total. 2 to start out. Now, just 2 jars of cement. One and 2. Let's stir that up. stir it up pretty good. And let's get 1 jar of lime. Mix that in. Eight jars of sand. One jar of sand. One jar of sand. Let me get another bag. Two jars of sand. 3 jars of sand. 4 jars of sand. 5 jars of sand. 6. 7. 8. May not need another full jar of water, but it'll need maybe more than half of one. Alright. And perhaps just a touch loose, so I'm just going to add a little bit more cement. Alright, let's go finish this step. This is really soupy. That's fine. Okay. I wonder if I could do this. Not a terrible idea. This is bad. Okay. Well, it's bad, but I guess I'm gonna have to fix it tomorrow. Well, that's standard operating procedure. I'm gonna fuck up the first time I do something like this. I'm gonna fuck it up. Just be okay with that, Eric. What are you gonna do with this tomorrow? Just might as well just pull this fucking thing up, bro. You're fooling yourself. All right, that's fine. Figure out a way to deal with this step tomorrow. I'll have to put it in another pour, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I'll leave these outside pieces the way they are. And I'll smooth this over. All right, well, that's a good start. That's a good start. I'll figure out the rest of that tomorrow. All right. That's the foundation for a good step. It'll come together tomorrow. I'll make it level and it'll be fine. But for now, we are donezo. We just need to clean up a bit. Have some water, smoke a cigarette. The usual. turn on the hose. Oh God. I'm pretty used up at this point. Okay. There are a lot of little bugs right now. A lot. Okay. All right. Wow. That's a lot of meows for one little Eric. These little bugs are all around me, but maybe not for long. Maybe not for long. Maybe they don't like fire. Few things do. Few things like being blowtorched. Well, I'm drenched with sweat. I'm still not done with that step, but I feel confident that with some finagling I can get it done properly tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do is, instead of putting more mortar down, I think I'll attach the board with silicone and try to raise up the areas that are a little too low with maybe a thin slice of wood or something, and then a lot of silicone, and hope that that'll secure it adequately. The other possibility is I make the call right now and switch from wooden steps to stone steps, in which case I just have to embed um, flat stones into the, putting out another layer of mortar and embed flat stones, but that'll be a little bit less flat, I think, ultimately, than if I put a board down. So I guess I'm gonna put the board down. I just gotta figure out how to make it level and stick where it's supposed to stick. Level, not wobbly at all. I might have to put down a little bit more mortar, but then I'll have to let that dry. I don't think mortar attaches to wood very well. At any rate, I made some progress, and that step will be really solid. I just have to get it flat. Hmm. We'll have to think about it tomorrow. I may end up. I bought these two boards here. I'd hate to forego the wood steps entirely. The boards would kind of go to waste, but I'd find something to use them for. Well, tomorrow I'll go in for my first of many dental appointments. Tomorrow should be fairly painless and, I mean, shouldn't take a super long time. I don't think it's going to be super expensive. I'm still obviously not looking forward to it, but I'll be glad to get things underway. We've got two plants now that are pretty fatly budded out. One on the end. Still looks like it's got 2, 3 weeks to go. It hasn't really turned that final corner yet where it starts getting all brown, haired, and ready looking. So, maybe it'll get even fatter before it does. We'll see. I wonder how much weed I'm going to get out of this. It's hard to say how much weight you get because, your weed's not going to be as well manicured as stored weed. So it's not going to really be as much as it weighs, even if you weigh it. And it's hard to say exactly when to weigh it. You don't want it to be bone dry, but if it's a little damp, then it's going to weigh heavier than it actually does. And I don't have a scale anyway, but maybe we could get maybe a couple pounds, few pounds. I would think that 3 pounds should last us a year. Are there 16 ounces in a pound? Or 8 ounces in a pound? 16? 3 pounds would then be 48 ounces. Yeah, that should last us a year. That should last us more than a year, really. We got 48 ounces at the store. I think it would last us more than a year because we don't go through 4 ounces a month, do we? We might. Probably not. I'd say we go through 2.5 or 3 ounces a month. It's certainly possible for us to smoke an ounce in a week, but I don't think that's our normal operating procedure. An ounce a week, though, that's a good quantity to aim for to make sure you've got a cushion and you've got enough weed for a whole year. Kind of makes me want to get a scale and just, you know, manicure, dry it, and weigh it, and put it away an ounce at a time. See how many ounces fit. Well, fuck me, I'm spent. Still running a bit of a sleep deficit despite the nap today. Change shoes first. And that tends to make physical activity seem more strenuous than it otherwise would. Okay. This is a hands full Eric. His hands are full, and so is his heart. The door's locked. I have to go in this door. Alright, well, we'll figure out that step tomorrow. I don't need to know how I'm going to solve it right this second. You need more food, Capio? Cat needs more food. Put this stuff down. Bottle of water. Okay, Capio, I'll get you more food. There you go, sweetie. This will give trouble more food, too. Okay. Well, that was a learning experience. I wouldn't call it a rollicking success or anything, but could have gone worse. Could have gone worse. I could have blown something up. I could have fallen down and broken a bone. Definitely could have gone worse. Oh, I do feel kind of tore up though. I feel tore up from the floor up. Let's go. Dreading the dentist? Not that much. They're just doing one thing tomorrow. It's just putting a crown on this one molar I have back here. I wanted to start small, you know. But it should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go take a shower and settle into the evening. So thanks a lot for being here. Hope you enjoyed this trip down Step Building Lane. And we'll see you next time on Talking with Famous People.